answer because it's so vast, and most of us are so new to AEO and GEO. We don't know what we don't know, right? Jesse, if I came to you and said, "Hey, Jesse, tell me about Sri Lanka, where I was born." Jesse was like, "Duh, what, right?" So instead of all that, we're going to start. You guys ask the question. Khaled's going to answer the questions, and then maybe later on, Khaled will share a few things. How about that? Okay, so we got a few people saying, yeah, sounds good. Let's get started. I don't want to waste a lot of time. Khaled, over to you. I know we only lost 15 minutes, so over to you, Khaled. Go ahead.
All right. So can you pick out somebody from the chat, unmute them if they have, let's say, a question about their business, if they're stuck somewhere. It doesn't matter if it's about SEO or AI or maybe even their sales process or I don't know, maybe if they're struggling in something, like whatever it is you're stuck on.
Okay. Guys, if you have questions, right, put it in the chat, right? It could be like, "Hey man, tell me more about AEO." It could be like, "Okay, I was doing this, I see SEO, I know a little bit of SEO, but is AEO on top of it," right? I had a couple of people, I think Mike reached out to me, Mike Cruz, yesterday. He asked me a question. "Hey man, this sounds very exciting. I want to understand how soon can we see results?" Maybe that's a question you can answer. Start with, like SEO takes time. Is it the same with AEO? Is it faster?
No, well, with AI search is much faster. So I showed you guys yesterday a screenshot of our students. I could actually show you live now in our GEO blueprint. He got results within 12 hours after our first class in week 2. So after the first webinar for week 2, which is so week 2 is everything after you learn the AI stuff. So week 2 is the execution week. Okay, that's when we actually start taking action and execute. Week 1, basically, you learn every single thing there is to AI search, GEO, even AI agents, AI automation. Like, it will put you 99% ahead, right? So you're no longer left behind. Now you know, right? And then from week 2 on and onwards is all about execution and taking action. So from that first class of week 2, within 12 hours, he was already getting crazy results and it's not just one result. He was getting an insane amount of pages just showing up all over AI overviews, right? Just doing what I laid out. So with AI overviews and LLMs, it can take days. I don't want to say hours, right? Because his site was already established. But if you're a brand new site, it will likely take a little bit longer, okay? His site was established, but it just wasn't showing up, okay? And all he had to do was tweak things here and there, and he followed my plan to the exact T, and then he started showing up. So if you're starting with a brand new site, it could take days, right? It could take weeks, but generally speaking, as we're optimizing for the LLMs, the big dogs like ChatGPT, it will generally take weeks and sometimes 2 to 3 months, right? If it's like really competitive stuff, right? But generally, it's extremely quick. Generally speaking, it's not like SEO where you have to wait 6 to 9 months. You're gonna see results. It's like guaranteed. Okay, I shouldn't guarantee it, but it is guaranteed. If you actually follow the system I laid out, it's guaranteed. Like, I don't know how you wouldn't.
Got it. Love it. Awesome. OnePlus, somebody named OnePlus has a question. How do I sell this to clients? Can you give me like an overview of that? So guys who are just joining now, we're going Q&A from whatever you learned, or maybe whatever it could be SEO, AEO, GEO. Khaled is agreed to answer questions. Let's start there. Then maybe you share something. So, and then I pushed him and twisted him to give something insane for my community that will come in the end. Okay, so stay till the end. But how do we sell this to clients, Khaled? Because I think a lot of people got excited by that $80,000 month you had selling it to clients. Give us an overview of how to sell this to clients.
So how to get clients and how to sell to clients is two different questions. Is he asking how to get clients specifically or how to actually sell it?
The exact question is how to sell this to clients.
Okay. So assuming you have a list of leads or whatever, okay? Let me tell you exactly what I did. Well, first of all, I had past clients. So the email I sent out was to past clients, okay? But in that email, right, I'm like, okay, well, I'm just giving you the overview, not the exact language I used, okay? But the email copy was like, okay, all the SEO work we did is gonna start fizzling out because we got this AI search, and that's taken over. And if you don't do that, like, Google's just gonna bump you down because they're prioritizing AI overviews, okay? Now, AI overviews, even though it doesn't it doesn't have like a specific structure, like it's not always going to be some phone number. Like sometimes it will show the business phone number, sometimes it will show the direct contact details, and sometimes it won't. Sometimes it will link to multiple results. So it depends what the question is. But the point is that the first thing people are seeing now is the AI overviews. It's not, and here's the crazy thing, it's not even pulling it from the results from the same page. You know what I mean? That's the crazy thing about it. It's pulling it from results that actually tie into the question in a more relevant manner. So the top 10 results are there because page authority and the backlinks and whatever, right? But that doesn't mean it's always the most relevant, okay? You could actually optimize your pages for AI overviews and it would show up pretty quick, right? Because it's most relevant. So there was a study, they said about 60% of the AI overviews didn't even come from sites that were ranking on the first page. Okay, so there's a lot of opportunity there. And I mentioned that, right? So I walked them through it and say, hey, like I plant a lot of scarcity, you know, like all that money you spent with us, like it's just gonna disappear, you know, it's gonna go to waste if we don't act now. Like we need to do this. And then I sent them to a landing page. That landing page had a VSL, which is a video sales letter, and below that video sales letter just had a button. Okay, and I had a lock-in timer. So they couldn't click the button right away until that timer ran out because I don't want them rushing to seeing the price and then they click off without actually seeing what it is I'm offering. So ideally you want some sort of timer. And guess what, guys? I give you that inside the Geo blueprint. The functionality that to do that on your page and everything, I give it all to you. So
go ahead, sorry.
Right, so they watched the video, right? And about 25% through the video, the button unlocks. So it doesn't unlock, it doesn't stay locked until the very end of the video. But in the same time, it doesn't unlock immediately because I want to grab their attention first, okay? Because these are busy people. They just don't, like, you know, we live in this economy where people are always in a rush. It's a 3-second economy. If you don't grab their attention in the first 3 seconds, you lose them, okay? So I have a title and the VSL, and then I put them through that video sales letter, okay? And that video generated about $80,000 from that email, from that one email that I sent out to past clients, okay? Now, this is going to vary dependent how many people you have on your client list, whether past people you worked with, or how are you getting people now. I mean, that depends how many people are seeing your landing page, right? So, like, the numbers vary. I'm not promising anything, obviously. The numbers greatly vary, okay? But if you want to know the exact number of people I sent this out to, it was about 225 people that I sent it out to, okay? People that I worked with in the past, okay? Not all of them were even necessarily SEO. Sometimes there were one-off things like maybe web design or something like that, right? But there were some people that I worked with in the past, essentially, okay? And this is what I sent them to, basically.
So this is good. I love it. What I did, I just want to throw my 2 cents right for those of you who may not have past clients. I sent out a cold email this morning. I just said something like, hey, if you're still depending on Google for your leads, AI is here, right? And I said, I put a paragraph, I'm reading it out from my cold email right here. I'm not saying this is working or not, we just sent it out. And it said, what changed? Nobody's telling you. Right now, more people are skipping the blue links. I got that from the email he has. And I said people are going to AI search overviews, ChatGPT, and other AI assistant, right? And the last line I said is you could be number one on Google and still be completely absent from AI's answers. Okay? Do you want more info? That's what I sent out. So we're still new in the wild, wild west, guys. Trust me, you may have to educate them like Khaled was telling about. Maybe a DSL, maybe a blurb around what is AI overview is. People have no idea, right? Just give them an idea, right? Let them know there's a lot of people searching in ChatGPT, stuff like that. So those who are just joining, Khaled is doing Q&A. If you have any questions, put in the chat. Khaled will agree. Cliff is asking, how do you know what keywords to target for local SEO when keyword is low? Well, even if keyword is low in the lookup tools in the local space, I go over it in many of my videos, Cliff. There is volume, right? You could say zero. If it's a population of 80,000, 100,000, there are people searching for concrete, contractor, or whatever. So don't worry about that. Khaled, question for you. Which one has more weight in ranking in the LLMs? Where we place the content, optimization of the content, and how does optimizing for AI LLMs differ from SEO?
Okay, the first part of the question, I'm not sure if I get it. Like,
what has more weight? Where we place the content or optimizing the content? I'm not sure what that means, but
I'm not sure what.
Well, why don't you answer this? How does optimizing for LLMs differ from optimizing for SEO?
Well, with SEO, 95% of your ranks is going to come from backlinks. Like I could have absolute crappy web. Hey, let me actually share my screen. Give me a second. Let me actually do that. Why am I not seeing it for some reason? Are you able to give me a screen share? For some reason, I don't see it.
Try now.
All right, now I see it. All right, let me start a new board, guys. Or maybe I'll just erase this. Refresh. Let me erase all this. Sometimes I have notes from previous classes and stuff. Okay, so you guys see my screen, right?
Yep.
Excuse my crappy drone here. Okay.
So those who are just joining, Khaled is going over question and answer. Somebody said, how is optimizing for Google different from optimizing for LLMs? So that's what he's answering right now. If you have any questions, put in the chat, guys.
Okay.
I'm monitoring. And stay till the end. I literally pushed him and prodded him and twisted his arm, if you will, for him to do something he's never done for
Okay, so let me lay it out for you. Okay. Over here, I have my super hyper contextualized relevant page. I got a beautiful, maybe a beautiful image. You know, I have an introduction here. Maybe here I have a call to action, and then maybe more content. Maybe here I have a cool video, right? Play button. Maybe here I have an FAQ, right? So this is super hyper contextualized. Maybe here I have a PDF download, right? Like it is just your content to the max, okay? For whatever it is you're targeting. So let's say this is super contextualized for pressure washing. Let's just say that, okay? Now over here, you're also optimizing for pressure washing. Let me zoom out. But over here you have crappy content, like literally just slop, AI generated slop. Like there's nothing good about it. Okay. No, not even AI generated slop. Like you just literally, let's say it's like a default WordPress theme and everything on it is just crap. Nothing is good on it. But your backlink profile is extremely solid. Okay, solid backlinks. Oops, backlinks. Okay, over here you got little to no backlinks. Little to no backlinks. Okay. What's going to happen is this page over here is absolutely going to destroy this one in Google. Okay. But when it comes to the LLMs, this page here, okay, this one here, is absolutely going to destroy this one. Okay? This is the best analogy I could show you. Backlinks will always be the #1 ranking factor when it comes to Google. That's not going to change. Okay? Because Google actually tried testing using content and other signals, and it just didn't work out. It screwed up the results. Okay? So, because backlinks means authority. Okay? So, for Google ranks, the organic ranks, 95% of the results are going to come from backlinks no matter what. Okay? Now, obviously, Google's going to improve with time in filtering out spammy looking backlinks, especially now that they have AI. So if you're buying guest posts from these, most guest posts today are really just farmed, like spammy PBN stuff, and they just label it as a guest post. It's all bullshit, right? So if you're getting all your links from that, one day that's going to fizzle out, okay? But backlinks is always going to be major. For the LLMs, it's called a large language model. They don't give a shit about your PBNs. They're not going to look at your PBNs, okay? So this will do well. This crappy, let's call it crappy. Oops, what happened? Guess I got to zoom in again.
So we could write content about our site and not link from a third party to our site. Like there's no backlinks, and the LLMs will still take that and rank us and recommend us.
Well, no, because getting into the LLMs is not just about content, because content is one of those things that everybody can do, right? There's a second side to this. But if the LLM, let's say this site here, the one with the good content, let's just say good content. If the LLM had no choice but to choose between the one with the good content and the crappy content, it's going to choose the one with the good content, okay? Because it's a large language model. It understands text. It reads text. Right? It doesn't scan your PBNs. It doesn't care about your PBNs and guest posts. It doesn't care about that. It does factor in backlinks. I'll explain that in a minute, okay? But let's call this the first phase. Everything I just explained, this is the first phase. This is how it differs between the search engine and the LLMs. For Google, you could have absolute dog shit content, but you'll still outrank the site with the better content because of your backlinks, okay? But what's going to happen here? The site with the crappy content, even though it's ranking, let's say, #1, conversions are going to suck. People are going to keep clicking away. So over time, even though you have the better backlinks, over time, Google does read people clicking away, and it's going to bounce you down a little bit, and it's going to keep happening. It's going to keep happening. Then, eventually Google's going to say, well, this site, for some reason, people are constantly bouncing back, okay? So backlinks alone is not enough. If you spend all that money on backlinks, at least you got to put time and effort into actually getting your pages to convert, right? So you end up missing out either way. But the point of this analogy is how it differs from the LLM. Now, what's the second part to this?
No, just the difference between AI. I think you got it. Optimizing for AI versus optimizing for Google.
Right. Here's something else. Okay. So Google does have manual moderators, but it's usually only in like super hot niches or competitive keywords. So if for some reason your people are constantly clicking back from your site, like people are not sticking, the retention rate on your site is only like 8 seconds or 3 seconds and people click back. Okay. Google does read that. And because you're on their search engine. So if you ever notice, if you click a site from the search engine, uh, there's like a URL that attaches at after your domain, okay? But Google does read that, and sometimes they'll have these manual moderators that will look at the site, right? And if they look at the site and realize this looks spammy or it's not good, you're gonna get pushed back to like page 3, okay? So even though these backlinks is really what got you the ranks, you could lose it if your on page is not right, okay? So anyway, what's the second phase to this? The second phase is the LLMs do factor in backlinks, but it's what I call AI weighted backlinks because it's not just any backlinks, okay? And not only do they weigh in backlinks as trust scores, but they even weigh in your brand mentions without a backlink, okay? So if your brand is being mentioned, because it's AI, it doesn't need to crawl through a link to link it back to you to know that it's about you. If your exact brand, let's say the brand is Blackwater pressure washing, right? That's the brand. And someone on Reddit mentions your brand, answers a question to another user but mentions your brand and quotes you and say, well, they ran this statistic, Blackwater pressure washing has this statistic on their site that 90% of homeowners, whatever, right? They just quote you and they mention your specific brand. The AI is able to attach that to your specific website. That's the crazy part about it. So we don't even need backlinks to increase our trust, our authority with the LLMs. So that's also how it differs.
This is good to know because SEO is a lot about backlinks, and I spend a lot on PBNs. I know you do that too, and PBNs has a bad name outside. If you know how to do PBNs, you can do a lot. But with LLMs, we don't need to depend a lot on backlinks, it looks like. Awesome.
Well,
so,
the backlinks, well, here's what we do in the GEO blueprints. We merge these two things. So we need the backlinks, but we also need the hyper-contextualized content. And also there's a lot of there's a lot of strategy behind it. There's no time to discuss it all, obviously, in this.
Let's go through the questions. I don't want you to spend a lot of time because you got a few questions, Khaled.
Right, go ahead.
1240. Yuan says, okay, so does your process to rank in the LLMs require, do we have to pay additional fees for things like directory listings, press release, PVN list links, content? Give us the process, if you will.
So, I mean, like, I don't understand the question because I think having a domain and having hosting and having a keyword tool, I mean, these are defaults.
Default, yeah, it's operational cost, yeah.
Right? Like, these are defaults.
Yeah. I would say you need these things.
You need these things regardless. Like, if you're trying to build a business and make money, but you're trying not to spend anything, like, this is not for you.
No, this is the tools of the business. I cannot want to be a doctor and say I don't have a stethoscope, but I'll hug you for a heartbeat. I don't think that's going to work out, but yeah. All right, Janet says, all right, this is a good question. Hey, your success students right now, are they all in the local business niche? Or do you have student successes that use the strategies for national service brands or any business not local?
Yeah, so one of the testimonials I posted yesterday was actually a local one. The one that was showing up all over the AI overviews. That was actually for a very competitive niche where the average client spends between $15,000 and $30,000. Okay, so it was a very, very competitive niche. And the cost per click for that niche, okay, on my class, he told me he was paying the cost per click was about $400. I'm like, what? That's insane. So it's a very competitive niche, and then he just started exploding in the AI overviews.
But yeah, so it's applicable to everything, not just local.
Right,
Here's a
even
question.
SaaS, even national SaaS is applicable to everything.
Next question. Nalin says, all right, so yesterday you covered pressure washing. You went into in-depth on the different intent, the different content within pressure washing, soft washing and all that, right? Do you only create those pages on your main site, or do you also put them in other sites also? And the second part of it is, if you're going to do this work, is it like a one-time done deal and it's going to show up in AI overview, or should we keep feeding these LLMs with content all the time?
Okay, so a lot of it, like a lot of the primary, like your primary target audience, this is usually a one-time setup. Like mapping out your pages, it's usually a one-time thing, right? But you don't need to stop there. You could continuously, if you discover more pain points that you could solve and you want to optimize for it, you could continue to create more pages. I mean, you don't need to stop. But I show you how to get the foundations laid out. So after the foundations, the two primary things that you can continue to expand on are your content and the AI-weighted backlinks. Those are the two primary things you could continue to expand on. But everything
backlinks.
Right. So everything else is foundational. Like you set it up once and boom, you don't really change it much.
Awesome. Thank you. Mike has a good question. All right. So GEO, I do the work. I get the clients ranked in ChatGPT and all that. Does the client see lead flow pretty quick once I do this?
What does it mean by lead flow?
Do they get leads from ChatGPT?
I mean, I can't answer that question. It depends on a lot of different things. Sometimes ChatGPT will just show the user the contact info. Like if I type in, give me the best plumber in NYC, just give me the best single one, right? ChatGPT is just going to give me the phone number, right? It could do that. Or if I say best plumbers in NYC or something like that, it's going to give me a list of users, right? I don't control what users click. The point is we get the mentions.
Yeah. In the mastermind we covered, we have a couple of members who show leads. I'm meeting with a guy, Marvin. He runs a 7-figure local business. Meeting with him to grow his SEO, AEO. He gets quite a few leads from ChatGPT based on the work we've been doing. So you get these. I know Jeff was here a couple of weeks ago. He said you get leads for that too. All right, here's a question on SEO, Rakesh. From Rakesh, Khaled. This, we rank our GMB, GBP, right? How do we track what keywords are ranking in GBP? Right, local, Google Search Console, they don't track GMB keywords, right? Keywords the GMB is ranking for. Is there a way to track what keywords GMB is ranking for?
It's talking about keyword tools that track local results?
Yeah.
There's tools like that.
Yeah.
Tools like that already exist.
I use Microsite Masters that tracks those keywords, Rakesh.
Yeah, Microsite Masters. I used to use that tool. I don't use it now, but I used to use that tool. It's a good one.
It's a good one, yeah. Okay, so just to clarify, next question. Is it important where we post our content? So you mentioned about brand mentions. So should we post in, are you talking parasite SEO? Should we post in like high DA sites like LinkedIn, Medium, Reddit? Is that what you're saying?
Right. So where do you post your brand mentions?
Yep.
I don't know if I should get into that here.
Yeah, that's not secret sauce, but that's one of the, yeah. Well, I guess you could talk about, does it help? Right, putting out
it does help. It
Yeah.
does help. I guess you could call it phase 4. In phase 4, when we start digging into the AI-weighted backlinks, that's where I cover all of that. But I also cover it in the first phase. Like, I tell you everything.
Yeah.
But in everything after the first phase is like you looking over my shoulder and me doing it on actual real websites that I'm ranking. Like me actually doing it in front of you, so you see everything I'm doing.
Yep. Mike says, can this be used for rank and rent? Absolutely. So one of the things yesterday I did after the call was send a screenshot of the AI overview coming up for one of my rank and rent sites and send it to the contractor. I said, hey, you're now coming up as an AI answer from Google. And he was like, oh my God, thank you. Right? So absolutely you can use it. The way I see with rank and rent, the value of the rank and rent can go up if it is ranking on Google and ChatGPT AI overviews. It's all how you position it. Absolutely. Is there a replay? Yes, we'll give it to you and a sign up link. So here's the thing, right? I'm going to put the sign up link. Do you want to put the sign up link and talk about the bonuses, Khaled, right now, or do you want to continue with questions right now?
Whatever people want to.
Yeah, I want to do this, right? So the price of it for founding members, I paid $3,500. You know, a lot of people paid that for 12, a dozen or so, and now he's got like 20 members. I came to, you know the background. I came to Khaled and said, give it to my community, teach it to my community. If you want to sell, I don't care. This information has to be out. Me, my community, especially my mastermind, I said initially, but I open it to everyone now. I want my community to be ahead with this because this is a gold mine, right? But I also told Khaled, we cannot do 3,500. You need to do something for my community. Kept bringing it down. So yesterday he revealed it at $2,000 price point, $1,997. I again asked him to do something with that. So here's what we're doing. Do you want to bring up that show that? I'll put the link here, right? But basically, it's a $997 two-pay option. That's what you have, okay? It's a two-pay option. It's an annual price, but I also asked him what else can
let me
go ahead, Khaled. Yeah.
You know, because school yesterday we it was like we couldn't, for some reason there was no way to set up the payment the way we wanted to in school, right? Like just charge for the 2 month and then stop. Like school didn't have that option, so that's why we didn't have that payment breakdown yesterday. But everybody wanted a installment plan, so today we created it with a regular Stripe. So it's only going to charge you for, if you sign up today, it's only going to charge you for today, then again in 30 days, and then it's going to cancel after that. Okay, it's going to say per month, but it's really just the first 2 months. It's just the way the Stripe landing page is. It's stupid. But after the second month, it's not going to charge you again, and it's not going to auto renew after 1 year. But after 1 year, you will receive a follow-up email if you want to continue. And what we decided to do is, if you sign up today, it's going to lock you in a lifetime discount. So if you want to renew, it's going to be only $2,500 annually. That's 1 year from now. Okay? So it's not going to lock you in today. It's not going to be automated because there was just no time to set up all that API stuff in Stripe and whatever, right? To set it up the way we wanted to, like 2x payment plan and then renew annually. So we just said, okay, whatever. We'll just charge you for the first year. You're going to receive an email after before the renewal date, and we're just going to ask you if you wish to renew. Okay? If you you don't have to. If you don't want to, we just remove you from the group.
1 year is a good enough time, guys. Trust me on that.
Right. But if I increase the price in the future, if I make it $4,500, whatever, this will lock you in for life. It's $2,500 a year no matter what. And again, as I explained yesterday, the reason why I don't do monthly is because I do 2 live classes every single week, and I need time to sit with people, build a relationship with them, get to know their business, and just dissect everything for them and help them through it. Like, it's like one-on-one coaching, okay? If people just want to come in and cancel after 1 month, right? Like, that's annoying. I don't want to put my time into these kind of people, okay? 1 year is at least going to give me the time I need to build out your business, to help you build your business, okay?
So it's a $997 this month. You got 30 days to work with it. Use the client, reach out to clients, get them paid, right? And then $997 the second month, and that's it, right? 1 year from now, if you want to renew, great. If not, don't worry about it. But here's the thing. I went back literally this morning to Khaled and I said, hey man, what else can you make it so it's a no-brainer? Like, I want people to jump into this, but I don't want price to be a hindrance. What else can you do? So he has a software that automates a lot of this, that does a lot of this, and that software is you got to pay for it. But I asked him, can you do something with the software? So he's agreed to do something. Can you maybe share that? What is it? How is it going to help us, and what are you going to give us with the software, Khaled?
Sure. So give me 1 second. Let me.
So I want you guys to understand, as he's bringing up the software, guys, I'm doing whatever I can to push this, right? And the reason being, Khaled is one guy, at least like me, in the sense when it comes to coaching, literally one-on-one available. He's right there 2 times weekly coaching calls, a lot of valuable content if that's not enough, plus the one-on-one help available in the coaching calls, all of that, right? You can literally message him, he messages back, okay? If there's anything like a handheld coaching to get you ranking in LLMs, not just ranking and recommending in LLMs and AI overview, but also be able to position yourself, show value, and get clients, like he's the man. That I want you guys to see the value. Go ahead, Khaled. Sorry. What's this software all about?
Let's actually go back to the whiteboard real quick, because I think I got ice. Give me 1 second.
In the meantime, let me answer. Peter says, what percentage of people are asking LLM search? It's a smaller percentage, but it's growing, right? I have clients, I have members in my mastermind who are always like, I'm ranking in the map pack, but I'm not getting calls, okay? The map pack is becoming more and more lower in the search results. Google LSA ads, then Google ads, like the AI overview, then the map pack, and then the organic. The way people are searching is changing. I spend a lot of time searching ChatGPT. In our mastermind, we already had people getting leads from ChatGPT. One of them literally said, my client said, I don't even need a GBP. I'm getting enough clients through ChatGPT. Okay? So it's growing and you want to be ahead of the curve. That's what I'm saying. How does indexing work with LLMs? We literally covered that yesterday's class. Bessel, watch that. GEO is a one-time set. Mostly one time. You don't have to keep doing ongoing maintenance. It's not like PBNs where you have to renew them or anything. But brand mentions and AI weighted backlinks, you can do that. Go ahead, Khaled. Sorry.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Wasim, this question exactly he covered this yesterday in the watch the replay. Jana says AI weighted backlinks. That's something inside the program. That's something that will be good.
All right, Ganesh, I sent you the, check your messages. I sent you the link for yesterday's webinar, the replay.
Yep, I posted that.
And on that page is also the sign-up link, okay?
Okay,
so now, Serpentia. Okay. What is Serpentia? Okay, this is gonna blow your mind. Serpentia stands for SERP. Everybody knows what SERP stands for, Search Engine Result Pages. And then Entity Native Topical Intelligence Architecture, okay? Serpentia AI, forgot to add the word AI here. Serpentia AI has an entire algorithm built into it from my 2.5 years of deep research into the LLMs. Everything that I uncovered and how LLMs score your business and your web pages and things like that is basically Serpentia has been trained on that. Okay? So what you do when you install it on your website, it actually tells you what needs to improve on your page. But it doesn't stop there. This is just like one this is the core functionality. The core functionality is the SERP Entity Native Topical Intelligence Architecture. Okay? Now, when you install this communicates with our server. So our algorithm, everything I trained it on, which is everything I teach you guys in the GEO blueprint. So you don't need Serpentia to do what I teach you, but Serpentia does lift a lot of the heavy lifting. Okay? If you're one of these people that prefers automation, then there you go. But you don't need Serpentia. I just want to make that clear. In fact, I don't even mention Serpentia once in the entire first week. of the training. Like all the past 2 years that I give you, all compacted into that first week of training. I don't even mention Serpentia once because I need to make sure you're learning. What I'm teaching you is universal, okay? And I need to make sure what you're learning is not based on some dedicated software or something like that. I'm not gonna do that to you, okay? So you could literally go through all the training without using my software and it's fine. But what Serpentia does, it removes a lot of the heavy lifting because everything that you're learning, Serpentia already knows it, okay? So let's say you forgot something, okay? Or you're not too sure about something, Serpentia is gonna point it out, okay? On your specific page, okay? So this is, let's say this is our server here, okay? Our algorithm is here, okay? And let's say this is your website where Serpentia is installed. This is Serpentia here, okay? And this is your money site. Okay, so it's installed here, but it communicates here, okay? Now, it doesn't end there. Let me zoom out without ruining the board. How many of you, just to achieve one small thing on your website, like you gotta duct tape a bunch of different tools and products together, right? So you need your contact form, you need your pop-up, you need your, what's another one? Speed, right? Your performance plugin, you need your security plugin, you need your, I don't know, scripts, right? When you need to install like Google Analytics and whatever. Oh, you also need your SEO plugin, right? And what is that doing? Each one of these, let me back out a little bit more. Each one of these has like hundreds of files that's installed on your website, especially if you're using WordPress, right? Just to get it to work, okay? So there's all this bloat. Same thing with this one. Has hundreds of files, right? Like they're all just bloat, okay? So what if you just want to pop up, right? Without installing all this bloat on your website. Well, you can tell Serpentia to create a pop-up for you. And what is it going to do? Is going to generate the code, just the exact snippet code that you need over here on our server, right? And it's going to bring it back. Let me zoom in. It's going to bring it back to your site, and you can install that pop-up with the exact clean code that you need, like fast-loaded, optimized code without all this bloat here, okay? What if you need a contact form? Same thing, okay? With Serpentia, you literally don't need a performance plugin. You don't need a security plugin. You don't need a lead capture plugin or whatever, okay? It does all that for you in an extremely lightweight, a single lightweight engine, okay? It's a website engine. It's an AI website engine. That's what Serpentia, that's how it functions, okay? Let me show you guys now live on my screen. Let me actually show you in action. Now, what I'm showing you is still the beta. Let's go to performance, for example. Okay. Here's this page, this add-on page. And we will be introducing many more. Let me zoom in. We will be introducing many more add-ons, okay? But let's say you already have, this is Serpentia installed on your site, by the way. This is the dashboard, okay? And you could flip between light mode, dark mode. I prefer dark mode. Obviously, who doesn't? If you're one of those light mode people, then just get off the webinar. Okay? But let me deactivate this real quick just to show you what I mean. So I deactivated this. I don't see performance on the sidebar anymore, okay? I'm gonna reactivate it. So let's say you already have a performance plugin and you don't want to use Serpentia, that's fine. You could leave it deactivated, okay? But let's say you want to use ours. I mean, it comes with Serpentia automatically. This is a default. This doesn't even require an upgrade, okay? It already comes pre-installed on your site, and it's faster than any other speed plugin you could imagine, okay? So this over here, the testing the running the analysis here, Let's just run it. And by the way, nothing is on yet. I did not enable a single setting yet.
Can you give, as this is running, Khaled, can you give an overview of everything we can do, just high level, quickly with this tool?
Okay, so it takes care of all your SEO, all your SEO title tags, all your SEO meta stuff, all your schema stuff, all your author boxes, your author schema. Like if you're running a news site, an article site, a blog site, right? It takes care of everything that is required for the LLMs and for Google. Okay, so you don't need Yoast SEO with all this bloat. As a matter of fact, it even has a WooCommerce. It's optimized for WooCommerce. Let me see, where is... So I don't have WooCommerce installed, but if I install WooCommerce right now, there's a new tab that's automatically going to appear that's going to allow you to check mark all the WooCommerce optimizations, because WooCommerce automatically loads a bunch of stuff across all your websites that's not required on pages that doesn't even require, right?
So can we use this for existing WordPress sites?
Yes. This right now, what you're looking at is installed on WordPress. Let me exit. Look, look at this. I'm going to exit right now. I'm back to WordPress.
Can this be used in Go high-level sites?
No, it's not optimized for, it's not used for. So we have two versions of this. We got the cloud one, which is you basically using, you're not installing it on a CMS. You're using our cloud version. Okay, but that one is not out yet. And the other one is for WordPress, because WordPress accounts for like what, 60-70% of the web, something like that, some crazy number, right? So we decided to build it out for WordPress first, because people are already familiar with WordPress, but it takes WordPress and makes it extremely fast. So these numbers you see here are not made up. Let's go to Google PageSpeed Insights. And right now, what's the URL it tested? Well, let's go to PageSpeed. Give me a second.
As you're doing that, Mike has a good question. So you have these live coaching calls twice a week. What would we be able to ask you about? SEO, sales, geo, everything? What goes under these coaching calls? So yes, I'm in that, and I can tell you he answers everything. He goes through step by step. He brings you your live site up if you have questions and audits it live there, exactly what you need to do, what you need to do to rank in ChatGPT, what you're doing right, what you're not doing right, how to position it for sales, all of that stuff, yes. Okay. So there's a lot that is over here, guys. I know it can be overwhelming. Trust me, this one thing is enough for you in the next 3, 6, 9 months to get your business going to the next level. Like, you have to be in the gold rush. That's what I understood, right? Right now, AI is the gold rush, right? You have to capitalize that, sell to local businesses, and you are providing value. It's not like a snake oil salesman. And
do you guys see my screen or no? Do you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it. Yep, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So let me exit this thing.
We can see your page and speed insights.
Right. So I literally have no plugins on this Serpentia website, right? Because I don't need any plugins. I don't need an SEO plugin. I don't need a page speed plugin. I don't need any plugins, right? Actually, I might have a couple plugins for testing reasons. I think I installed a couple plugins just to test a few things. But other than that, generally, I'm not using any plugins, right? And the numbers that you see here is basically what we're testing is no different from what Google is showing you here, okay? Everything we're testing. These numbers is testing the actual speed, the server, how fast things took to load and all of that. And keep in mind the cache is not on. You see down here, everything is off. The page cache, the minify, CSS, everything is literally off right now, right? So by default, Serpentia doesn't add any bloat. Like, everything is super clean, optimized, and super lightweight. Why? Because everything happens on our server. Okay? So the only thing that comes on your website is the super bare minimum structure that's required for it to function, right? And then, but the AI stuff is all communicated through our server. Okay? Um,
You there? Khaled?
you have a crappy looking website and you wish you had something like this. Let me actually copy this. So while it's doing that, if you go to serpentia.ai/nexus, guess who made this? And it has a schema built in. Guess who made this? If you're selling AI services or SEO services or any kind of digital marketing, okay? Serpentia AI made this. We have a part here called skins. Skins, let me click on it in fact, okay? You can create, like these are the skins that I created. For example, I created a pricing table, okay? Because I wanted a page for pricing table. I created the coming soon page too, which is the one that's live on the website right now. Like Serpentia made this, the coming soon page, right? And I could edit this in my skin editor and the AI generates it for me, okay? You could create any skin and then assign it to a specific page on your WordPress site. Let me see. Let's go back here. So Serpentia made this and it's already pre-optimized. It's super fast. Look how long this is. Look all the stuff it has, right? All the stuff it has. And look at the score it got. And the performance is not even, the performance on Serpentia is not even activated. Literally not activated. But look at the accessibility, the best practices, the SEO, the performance, okay? And I haven't even optimized this. After Serpentia created it, I haven't optimized it at all. Like I could dig in there, I could actually see why I have an accessibility score of 93. I could go down here and see what Google's telling me what I'm missing, and I could optimize that, right? Just to get a score of 100. But people used to pay up to like $1,600 for a service. Like I've seen this. There are services that charge between $1,500, $2,000, $3,500 to do this for websites, to optimize them so that, like especially sites that are super heavy and bloated. This alone could be a lead magnet for your clients. And then you get them into the AI search stuff.
And what are you're giving this away for those who jump in?
Right. So the skin, I actually spent a little bit of time on this. Even though Serpentia created it, I had to go back and forth. Like, okay, we need to change this. We need to do this. So I spent about a good minute on it to get it done perfectly. The way that, because I have a developer background. I worked on complex projects in the past before, right? So I have a developer background. So I know how a modern website should look like. Let me zoom out a little. Right? I know how a modern website, if you guys actually want to visit the URL, again, serpentia.ai/nexus. You could look at it yourself, okay? It's also mobile ready. It has the FAQs because one of the things I teach you inside the program is answering questions because the LLMs like to see that, right? And the FAQ has the schema built in, right?
So Khaled, is this a bonus to those who jump in? What
the skin is a bonus. I already offered the skin to current members, and I said, okay, nobody's gonna get this after this, but the skin is a bonus because when you want to, like, let me tell you guys something. You could create sites with AI, sure, but then what? Like, you could go to ChatGPT, tell it make me a website, whatever, but then what? There's nothing attached to it. There's no engine behind it. You would basically have to figure out how to install the HTML on your host. But guess what? Even since 2011, we had these template directory websites that offer you HTML templates to install on your website. Like I used to use those for my PBNs, just so that like not every PBN is WordPress. That way to avoid footprints. You know what I mean? It's nothing new. But what you require, you still have to have a CMS. You have to have something that controls performance, security. You got to have a way to control content, right? So the other thing of Serpentia that I don't show here, that it could write your blog posts, it could write your pages in the way that I trained it. Okay, everything that you're learning inside the GEO blueprint. Now, Serpentia is not public. If you go to the page right now, this is what you're gonna see. I mean, you could sign up to get notified if you want, but right now it's not public. Okay.
Okay. That's fine. I don't want to spend a lot of time on Serpentia, Khaled, but thank you for this. I appreciate that. I just want people to understand. I'm trying my best.
One more important thing I need to make sure I mention because I don't want any surprises. Serpentia doesn't unlock until week 3. Okay. Once you make it to week 3, phase 3, that's when it unlocks because it's not relevant before that. Everything that I teach before that, Serpentia is not relevant for that. Okay. Once we actually, week 3 is all about mapping out our pages and page structure and building our brand, right? So that's when Serpentia now comes in.
How many sites can we use this for?
It depends on your license. So there's just a single annual subscription plus the AI credits. But as a bonus, part of the bonus here is you get Serpentia 6 months for free. You don't have to pay unless you max out your AI credits. So it's like this. It's like, okay, when you're using Cloud Code or something, you're paying the monthly fee. But if you exceed that, then they want to charge you the extra credits if you exceed it. So same structure, just like every other AI tool out there. So there's a single small annual fee, and it's a really small fee. And then and with that fee, you get a certain amount of AI credits that you could use, okay? And if you max out those credits, you could just recharge the credits without renewing, like there's no monthly fee. You could just recharge the credits when you needed it. So it's simple, it's really simple.
Oh, thank you, I appreciate that. Guys, I put the link in the webinar replay. Jump in, it's $997 a month for 2 months, that's it for the whole year. There's so much value in it. I'm already having about 3 to 4 clients interested just by copy pasting what he's showing inside and emailing it to local businesses. The main thing is the gold rush right now, we gotta jump in, okay? There's so much value, even without the software, just learning the stuff in there, the weekly 2 times coaching calls, just seeing your websites getting recommended in ChatGPT. Like, it's not just learning, guys. If all you need to become successful was learning, you could just go to YouTube, learn whatever's out there, right? There's a holding your hand, I don't want to say one-on-one mentorship, but almost like that is what you get with Khaled, okay?
Okay.
Last question. What can we price this for a local business?
Yes.
Like this AI stuff, right? Again, it depends on the niche and the business, right? An appliance repair guy was the dentist, right? I sent out an email. I told my VA this morning to send out emails to plastic surgeons because they can afford to pay. They want their names come up in Google AI search and ChatGPT, right? They have the money. So it depends on the niche again. Anything you want to add before we close it for the day, Khaled? I don't want to keep promoting this, guys. This is honestly, I'm bringing this to my community. I twisted his arm to bring it as cheap as possible, affordable as possible. You're getting so much value. Jump in. If you don't jump in, that's fine. If you jump in, we're going to do this together, right? But anything in closing you want to mention, Khaled?
No, I'm even willing to stay a little bit longer if they want, unless you really have to go. If you want somebody to talk and ask a question. Like,
yeah, if you have questions, go ahead.
If you guys want me to dissect your business, if you want to test me out, and what?
Yeah, let's do that. I think Mike Cruz has some good questions. Mike, are you there? If you're there, unmute, ask your questions, and let's see. I know Mike messaged me yesterday as a background context, Khaled. He has a potential MedSpa client. He was like, how can I position AEO? But the second question to that was, okay, I sell AEO and GEO to my MedSpa client. How can I, in the end of the day, 1 month from now, how can I tell the client, hey, thanks to my ChatGPT results, you get these leads? Like, how can I quantify that? So how can I sell it to clients? And then how can we quantify, do justice?
Basically, isn't this like the last question, like how to sell it to clients?
How do you
Or how
quantify,
to-
I guess, like, how do you know he gets the leads from ChatGPT versus Google, I guess? How do you measure?
Oh, well, there are tools. Well, first of all, you need analytics installed on your site, right? Because you prove where the traffic came from. But you also got to make sure you tell your clients that whatever the analytics shows, like this came from Cloud, this came from ChatGPT, whatever. It's actually more than that because sometimes ChatGPT will mention your business and people won't click. For example, they'll just call the number. Okay, so that's why you also need a tracking tool. So there's several out there, in fact. But I actually discuss this. I go through this in the training and which tool I recommend and all of that stuff. So, like, I already discussed all of this in the training. But yeah, there's LLM visibility mention tools and things like that you could look up.
Can you give us, someone's asking, can you elaborate on a couple of success stories for your clients, your students, through GEO, AEO?
Do you want me to go back to the slides or like
No,
what does it
just
mean
talk
elaborate?
out, just give your like, okay, this guy, we did this and he saw something, stuff like that.
Well, I mean, literally there hasn't been a single client that hasn't received mentions in the LLMs. Okay, like that's how crazy, stupid, simple it is. There hasn't been a single client that's just waiting for results and just paying me and not receiving, like it doesn't exist. Okay, and like I said yesterday, it's far easier to sell than SEO because it's not like they're waiting 9 months just to see results and they're paying and they don't know what's happening. A lot of SEOs out there don't even show their clients the PBNs because they have other clients on the same PBN and all that. Like, it's nothing like that, right? And you can sell them on this because the results are fast. And once they see results, guess what? You can upsell them on SEO. You don't have to sell them on SEO and then upsell them on AI. You could upsell them on AI search and GEO. And after like getting them results quickly, and once they see that, okay, like at least something is kicking in, you could upsell them on SEO or on your web design or whatever, right? But the point is, the way client psychology works is once they see results, it's easy to upsell them on anything.
Right.
But with SEO, if they're waiting 9 months, they just get tired.
Right. Got it. Awesome. Any other questions, guys? Anybody? On anything at all?
Let me also say that our students, like if you actually come in and get on the live calls, they can tell you they already started seeing an increase in their AI visibility. Okay.
Good stuff, guys. All right.
Like you can hear it directly from the people that are actually been in there.
Nalin says, can we control the asset with the content that gives AI visibility? It's not one asset. It's not like you write content on Wikipedia and it shows up in AI. It's just like SEO now. There's a few pieces of the puzzle you got to put it together.
A good way to frame it is you're building out your reputation. Okay, and that reputation has one single point of truth, which is your money site. Okay, so you want everything to point back to your money site. You don't want to be building out these blog assets and things like that. I mean, this is old school stuff that we're.
Yeah. Cool, guys. Yeah. I think most of the questions have been covered. All I can say is jump in, guys. That's all. If you know me, I don't just bring anybody and everybody. Like, there's so many groups I'm part of. They take the smallest little thing and make such a big deal out of it and sell something, right? I'm not here to sell something here, guys. Okay? I genuinely learned from Khaled. I genuinely, literally only look up to a couple of people. Khaled is one of them, right? Greg Morrison, Khaled, literally. Maybe another good friend I'll mention is Elder Cohen. Okay, that's about it. There's so many people I know, friends of mine, SEO. No disrespect to nobody, but very few people are in the thick of things, doing things, figuring it out, testing with SEO. If you are calling yourself and teaching yourself, you're a teacher, you're teaching stuff. You have to be testing things out, right? Most people don't do that. They're so good at selling and sales, okay? And here is like, what people have to understand with this is there's so much over here that is going over in this course, this coaching, right? It's not just course, it's a coaching two times a week coaching calls and like a bunch of stuff. You literally sit and study and do it, you will see results, okay? And you can't do justice in one hour, 1.5 hour webinar. That's the whole point. Will we get recording? Yeah,
did
sure.
you tell them?
Recording.
Yeah,
Sorry,
there's a recording. Did you tell them when we're closing? This is This is not going to be open forever, by the way.
I haven't, no, go ahead, please.
Yeah, this Saturday we're closing. This Saturday. So Saturday midnight, like once it reaches 11:59, that's when it will close.
Yeah.
I'm not
So it's
giving
not
it-
like a get as many people as you can, make the sales. No, Khaled mentioned one-on-one, he wants to get to know you. That's one thing I love about it. It's almost like in the mastermind, we do the same thing. You have to know people one-on-one because what my goal is going to be different from somebody else who's jumping in, right? And that's the beauty you work with Khaled on that.
I would love it if you, and if we're taking too long here, we could always cut this part out. But if somebody wants to, yeah, we could cut this, like, up to this point, we could cut this part out from the replay. But if somebody has a genuine question for their business and actually wants to come on and ask me directly instead of using the chat, like, I would love that.
Would anyone here want to unmute and ask a question about your business? Again, Khaled is one guy, he's not just technical guys, he's built businesses, right? So tell him where to use, what do you have any...
It doesn't need to be SEO related. It doesn't need to be AI related. Like, I think we discussed enough with all of that. Like, do you have an actual genuine question?
Let me ask you, okay, I have a question, Khaled, right? A lot of people in my coaching program, they learn the SEO part, right? And I'm not talking AEO, GEO, SEO, right? Local businesses, they can rank an appliance repair guy, whatever, okay? Dentist, lawyer, whatever. Half decent, okay? But the problem I see a lot of businesses, a lot of these SEO folks having is they're unable to land clients. They're doing cold emails, they're doing SEO audit videos. They may even be able to get a few of them, get them on the call with businesses, but they are not able to land clients consistently. Okay, what do you do if I want to grow my business, get some clients this month?
You're talking about SEOs, right?
Yeah, just general
Getting clients
SEO,
for
yeah.
SEOs. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't hide this. I in fact, I mentioned this throughout several times in the program. SEO is one of those niches that are just hard to sell. And I used to have my agency ranked #1, right, for SEO. I used to have a bunch of lead generating, and the traffic that comes to that site in ratio to conversions always used to be low. Even when, and I used to think like, okay, something's wrong with the website. And I'm a developer, right? Like I don't make these crappy looking websites. And I also, one of the things that I studied was also branding and psychology, right? So it's not like I suck at this stuff. I'm actually good at it. And I optimize the hell out of these sites for conversions, right? I have one primary offer, one call to action. I'm not like cluttering the page where it's confusing. And yeah, like conversions increased a little bit, but it's still like, why isn't it converting? Like if I have this plumber, if I'm ranking this plumber, like he converts like crazy with, sometimes even with less traffic, like in a small town, some plumbing company in a small town, and it converts like crazy in with less traffic. Why is that? Well, I learned was the market has a lot to do with it. Okay, I'll tell you how to get more SEO clients in a minute, but first let me explain this to you. Why it's not going to convert from like in traffic to conversion ratio is going to be low compared to other niches. Okay, because if your market is not right, then you need like God level SEO and God level marketing just to make up for that bad market. Okay, SEO is one of those markets where number one, there's no urgency. Like when a business comes to your website, it's not like, oh my God, I need traffic now, right? With a plumber, there's urgency. If there's a burst pipe, they don't give a crap who you are. They just want to hire you if you could get it done right away. Why? Because the pain of messing up your floor and warping the wood and whatever, the water is getting all over the place, and the landlord freaking out, like that, there's a pain there that needs to get solved immediately. SEO is not like that. SEO is more like, okay, I know I want to be one on Google, but I'm not in a rush. Also, this guy over here looks sketchy. Also, I got burnt in the past, so I got to be careful, right? Like, there's all these things running through their mind, okay? They're not in a rush to sign up, okay? What you need is well, first of all, you need to stop sounding like everybody else. We increase your ranks. Like, how boring, how generic. Like, what you're doing now is just competing. That's number one. Okay? Number one, you got to stop sounding like everybody else. Stop competing. You need to find a crack in the market where you sound different. And that's difficult to do with SEO because SEO is just one of those markets, like I said. Okay? So what's the solution? The solution is, if you want to convert better, stop sounding like everyone else. Stop using the same title tag like everyone else. Like, oh, we increase your ranks. Like, they heard this a million times. How are you even different? Why would they even choose you in the first place? Like seriously, okay? Yeah, you're gonna get leads. You're gonna get form submissions, right? Even if your content sucks, if you're ranking number one, because that's just the general rule. When you get traffic, relevant traffic, you know, there's always a small amount of conversions, right? But if you start framing your offer differently, you're gonna boost conversions. But I teach you about that inside the program. The other thing is start getting used to ads. Not just because you're an SEO doesn't mean you need to stick only to SEO. Okay? You can create really good offers, lead magnets with paid ads, okay, and use SEO as your upsell. Just something I had to learn the hard way because, again, I used to have all these lead gen SEO sites ranked throughout all these SEO, throughout all these cities. So I would have, for example, San Antonio SEO, right? And then Austin SEO, Miami SEO. Like, I will try to rank in all these cities, but with different domains. That's what I used to try to do. And conversions sucked with all of them. That's just the reality of the SEO market compared to like a hot niche, like a niche with a strong pain. Okay, but you got to get used to getting into ads and not just relying on SEO. Okay, it took me a while to really understand that. Right, I had to join Mastermind. I had to learn it the hard way and really start getting good with copy and ads and everything like that. Okay, but in the GEO blueprint, I put it all together for you. You learn all this, I put it all together, and one of the last phases we do is we scale with ads.
All right, guys. I think we'll call it a day. Thank you. We'll send out the replay, guys. This Saturday we got. If you want to jump in, great. The shift will continue, right? If not, no big deal, right? But do something in 2026. Don't be the same guy who's coming and learning for free and trying to do something. Invest in your future and see if he can take you somewhere, right? You just need to think creatively, land one client to pay for his investment. That's it. Cool? Well, thanks, Khaled. I appreciate you coming, sharing so much. I honestly did not expect you to share, all this teaching you did yesterday and today. Appreciate all that. Hoping to learn a lot more and get more, grow our business, man. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Sure, absolutely. And
Awesome,
thanks
guys.
everyone for coming.
Yep.
Appreciate
Thank you,
all of you. All right,
Yep.
bye.
Bye-bye.